smile, guys. Put on your smile.
Oke, Ram. Halo, Ram.
Alhamdulillah, akhirnya Sri hamil, janinnya laki-laki.
Gimana?
Gimana?
Bocor, apaan tuh?
Bocor dari mana?
Sorry guys, it's a YouTube ads. Sorry.
Ram, you can start the announcement.
Of course.
Yang menarik adalah kok ads itu ya.
Okay. Hi everyone. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Okay, while waiting for the other participant to join, enjoy the instrumental music, and yeah, let us prepare for the announcement tour. What is that? Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Before we jump to start our class, how about we introduce ourselves, especially for who as a newcomer or the first time join our class, online class in Britzone. You can raise your hand. I see several names. How about Eka Agustina? Go ahead, please turn on your video and introduce yourself. Hi, good afternoon, Eka.
Hi.
Yeah, go ahead, introduce yourself.
Hello guys.
Hi.
I am Eka Agustina.
Hi, Eka.
Eka. I am a college student in
Okay. Seems Eka have ads in her home. Okay, how about Ratna? Hello, Ratna. Are you there? Could you please turn on your video and introduce yourself to us?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah.
Okay. Turning on my video. I'm using an extended camera. Hello?
Hello.
Okay,
Hello.
guys. Hi everyone. My name is Ratna. I'm a freelancer. So this is the first time I joined Britzone. Hopefully I can find a good new online friends. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, Ratna. And where did you know about Britzone, actually?
Oh, I found it on Instagram.
Wow, thank you, Instagram. Thank you, Instagram, for let Ratna him. Yeah.
Thank you for
Okay, and then let's move to, yeah, I want to on boy to introduce. How about Teguh? Hi, Mas Teguh. Teguh Budi. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear my audio?
Yeah,
Feedback or not?
yeah, it's
There's
good.
no feedback, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Good afternoon, guys. My name is Teguh. Right now, I'm professional developer. This is my first time joining the Bridge Zones. I already follow the Bridge Zone for quite long time, but finally,
Wow.
finally today, it's quite interesting topic because it's like the professional area. Okay, because
Yeah.
the other topic is like, okay, we are already do it in my daily life, and right now this is like uh, the next step to reach my dream. So today I decided to join it.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah, I agree with you. Since this is the topic, this kind of the professional topic, and our conductor is special, live from Munich, German.
Yeah, and we have like same background but different
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
different area. Okay.
yeah. Thank you so much. Okay, and the last one, I want to pick Mas Wahyu Hidayat. Are you there? Hello, Mas Wahyu. Please turn on your video and introduce yourself to us.
Alright. Hi guys.
Hi.
Hi guys. My name is Wahyu. This is my first time join this um meeting, conference. Okay. But actually I follow Britzone on Instagram despite a long time. But this is also relate to my professional life because I right now I employee of one of Chinese company in Jakarta.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Thank you so much, Mas Wahyu.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Let's get started. Good afternoon, Brizoner. And it's good to see you back here and with some newcomer or newbie join our online class. Yeah, as you know, Brizoner is a pre-English community in Jakarta, and we have new brand in Surabaya too that brings value, young empowerment, community, education, volunteering, open platform, and also, of course, in English field. Yeah, and as you know, we provide 3 class every week on Tuesday. Tuesday online class start at 7 p.m. and focus on public speaking, such as debate, speech, interview. And Wednesday online class start at 7 p.m. touch all 4 skill in English through class series such as listening, speaking, reading, and writing. And then the last one is Saturday online class. Actually today we used to start at 11 a.m. but special today because our conductor is live from Munich, German. We have to adapt her time. And what is in Saturday online class? We bring various topic for weekly talk to encourage speaking in various fields such as professional or scholarship and various topic fun. And we also have social media on Instagram and Facebook, Twitter, website, and also we also stream our online class on YouTube. on Britzone English community. Yeah, and as a non-profit organization, we have Busy Merch and Busy Mart to support our funding to running this beloved community. And what kind of we sell on Busy Mart and Busy Mart? This is our brand new of Busy Merch, a mask and brand new in t-shirt and what we call it name tag.
Lanyard.
Yeah, lanyard. If you interested to buy our product, you can check the new brand on Instagram at Britzone Merch. Yeah, and we used to have our offline class in Library of Education and Culture Ministry before the Corona attack, and then now we have to have in online. And Library of Education and Culture Ministry is one of our sponsor. And the last sponsor is Atmago app, a social network app in Indonesia that help people to share neighborhood issue with campaign Warga Bantu Warga. You can check what is Atmago app on the social media at Atmago app. Yeah, and we also have a Britzone tradition. After the class, we will taking class photo, and please give us feedback to improve our quality to provide the class. Okay, that's it from the announcement tool. And we proudly present our conductor live from Munich, German, Chairuni. Give virtual applause for her. Hi, Kak.
Hi.
The time is yours. The time is yours.
All right. Thank you for the introduction. So hi, everyone. Actually, my name, if you want to call it simpler, you can call me Chai. But yeah, the full name is Chairuni. So I would first share my screen so that, just for us to be ready. I'll be sharing this one. Be sharing it, and then I will somehow try to present it. Okay, right. So again, everyone, hi, my name is Shai, and today I'm going to share to you some things. So, well, this is me. Basically, I'm going to tell you about my experience and how did I get a job at an English-speaking company abroad. Well, maybe not really the specific like tips of trips, but I just want to probably share my experience so that, probably it's relevant to you, probably it's not, but well, here I am. All right, so currently where I am working at, so I'm currently working in Germany. Right now I'm in Munich, so I know in Jakarta it's already, well, in Indonesia it's already in the afternoon, but honestly in here it's still in the morning. So I work in a US-based tech giant, so, and I work as a software engineer in here. Well, I mean, even though it's in Germany and German people don't really speak English in their daily life unless they have to. So, well, basically, in the office, my colleagues and I all communicate in English. So, yeah, English is important, right? All right, a little about me before I, jump into the topics. So before I went to Germany, I have worked for 2 years in Jakarta, also as a software engineer at one of the Indonesian, one of the biggest tech startup, I guess. And then, so I also already had my bachelor degree, and it was from an Indonesian university. Sorry, not Universitas Indonesia. Yeah, no. This is not that. I mean, a university in Indonesia. Right. So I'll probably start so how did I get here? Well, I would like to just start with the recruitment process. I will try to make this as general as possible, by the way. If anyone is interested in the nitty-gritty details, I think that's for later, but I think this is just so that we have a, well, just an introduction so that you can ask me in a Q&A session. All right, so basically, how was I recruited? Obviously, I applied. This is the part where I get the company to know my existence. And then I had some interviews. This is allowing the company to see if I am the right fit and the other way around. And at the end of the day, and then I just signed the offer, help to finalize the deal. All right, so for the application process, well, so first of all, I tried to polish my LinkedIn. I think when you're a software engineer or anyone working in the tech industry, I think LinkedIn is key for the recruiters to know that you basically exist in this world. And when I'm saying that I'm polishing my LinkedIn, what I mean was that, well, obviously I make the, like I explain every detail section in my LinkedIn. I made a nice introduction, and then I also tried to post some posts so that like people can like me, like my posts and share them and everything, so that like people get to know my LinkedIn a little bit. Honestly, it's not that much updated right now because I'm so busy at work, but there was a time. And eventually, interestingly, so I think I have shared like something about Google before. I made a blog about one of their technologies actually, and then somehow I got connected to Google recruiters. That was interesting. And then so yeah, I mean basically I realized, so for my company, there is an online platform for the application for the CV. So you can basically use the online platform to see what are the available job position, where are they located. For example, there's an Indonesian site, Singaporean site, and another site in Sydney, for example, and things like that. So you can see everything there, and then you can see the job qualification. And I think I was lucky to be able to fit into one of them, and then I simply applied. And then like in a few days, then I got a call from a Google recruiter asking that, hey, they're interested in my profile, and they would get to know me better, basically. So yeah, one thing that I want to share in here is that, so I knew that any company would not notice that I wanted a job at their place if I didn't apply, right? I mean, getting them to know me like by polishing my LinkedIn, that's already one step. And then I finally got an ad, like a what you call it, connection request from a Google recruiter. That's one thing, but then I need to approach it, right? So basically I applied. I actually figured out like from which site she was from, and then I applied to that site specifically. So yeah, and then so basically I just applied. Honestly, she was not the one who actually picked my CV, but at least, I mean, like I tried anyways. So yeah, I just applied. So, and then for the interview part, so, well, every company is different, I believe. So first of all, there is the recruiter screening. So they'll be asking me questions. So like, how long have you been working here, blah, blah, and then what are your main expertise? And just basically to make sure that I actually fit to the job description, for example. And they also add, so I mean, because this is very technical, I believe, so they ask about some technical questions as well, but it's more like a concept. For example, in software engineering, one of the biggest things is called algorithm and data structure. So they ask about like my knowledge about it. So it's like, once I pass those questions, I can finally go. And then there was an online interview. It was like one technical interview where I had to code. So there was given a problem. I need to solve it with the code, basically. It was an online, and I think the person was British, and I know he's from London, actually. So yeah, I mean, even though I was in Indonesia, but people can, just interview me for like from any side, basically. It was 8 p.m. I remember. It was very late. So yeah. And then there was an on-site interview where I actually meet like the interviewers. So it was quite long. There was like 4 sessions, like 4 times 45 minutes, I believe, with like 15 minutes, what you call that, recess, whatever. So like 4 times coding. And then at the end of the whole sequence, oh, sorry, I had lunch after 3. So, and then at the end of the sequence, I have a behavioral question. So basically they wanted to know if, so this is what I understand. So when it comes to very big companies, they have a very specific culture that they're trying to, enforce. It's like, for example, oh, it is well known that company from this, employees from this company are very open, for example, or very direct, or very, like to work late, or very, or they're actually very 9 to 5 person or flexible, whatever. So every company have that, and behavioral interviews are the place where companies can actually match like whether I can actually fit to their culture. I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean that I already fit, but at least like they know that, okay, I have the tendency to fit, for example. right? I mean, I guess it's true. I mean, well, compared to other big technology companies, I don't necessarily fit in all of their cultures. For example, I just happen to fit in here. So yeah, that's basically it. So it's really like that's what happened. Like if you go to different companies, they are very different. Well, not very, but likely. So yeah, and once everything is done, those technical interviews, I got information from my recruiter that okay, technically all is clear, so let's actually find a team. So then I was scheduled with like 3 manager fit calls where I actually meet the managers. And then, you know, like I asked about it, what are their projects they're doing? And then like, does that actually fit with my backgrounds and my interests, for example? And then I had an interest in 2 of their projects. And then, but one of them is actually located in Dublin. And for some reason, I kind of feel that Dublin was a little bit too far. And then I just chose the what you call that, the less far place, which is in Munich. So basically I just chose it based on that. So oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, so when it comes to my company, you can simply, sorry, if you're a software engineer or any job that is like very flexible in terms of the country, or I would say country agnostic, you can actually choose your side. That's it. So yeah. And then again, well, I think this one is obvious. All interviews were conducted in English. Well, at least a business level English was required. All right. And then, well, once everything was set, I finalized the offer. So again, I mean, like, well, I've shown my interest in which team I like, and then, well, basically seal the team placement. And then, you know, they'll be changing their, checking their head count compared to like how many people are interested in their team, for example, like that. And then I had a hiring, so, and then this is something that happens like without my control. So I had a hiring committee reviewing my, well, all of those packages, like my interviews, my resume, my university, well, I mean, where did I go, whatever, to actually determine my level placement. So, you know, when it comes to, it's like, well, I know that everyone knows about PNS, yeah. So for example, PNS, they have levels, yeah. So this is exactly what they're doing. So they're determining their level for like the pay grade and also the expectancy of the well, like my, what you call that, my performance, for example. So yeah, and then after all of them, I send the offer. And then, yeah, once the offer is signed, the deal is sealed. So yeah, Germany, here I come. That's what I said to myself back then.
Wow.
Yeah, so I think one key takeaway, well, I have lots of takeaways, but one thing that I want to, you know, just say to people is that I think because this is also Britzone, I want to tell people that English proficiency, I think when I want to say was, but it's really is the key to unlock an opportunity for a job abroad. It's like, doesn't matter how technically capable you are, doesn't matter how passionate you are. Honestly, if the English part of it is not, you know, what you call it, not taken care of, I think it's a bit hard. I mean, again, it doesn't have to be like, you know, native level English. Just a business level English is enough, but at least you need to have that. That's what I think. So yeah, all right, so that was the first part of it. I have another part. So I would, you know, give some time for the audience to have a question, I believe. So yeah, Ms. Ramdan, can you know,
Yeah.
work it out?
Oh my God. Wow. It's a good experience that you have. Okay. Actually, I wonder how the process recruitment took the time at back then.
When was that happening? So I have only joined my company for a year, but so I applied in April 2019, and then I only got an offer in August 2019. It was a long time. Yeah.
All right. Wow, it's really interesting. And if you guys have any question about this topic or direct about culture, you can raise your hand and ask the question to her. Raki, do you have any question?
Okay, I have a question, but actually, first of all, I would like to say uh, that's a good thing to us to know about a job abroad. So thank you so much, Miss Che, for your for your material. So the question is, how does you feel become an Indonesian around Germany? I mean, is there any shock culture or anything?
Right. So I
Thank
forgot to
you.
mention that I actually have two more sections, like literally like similar like that sessions. So some of the part of the question can be answered later, but I'll just quickly share it in here. So how does it feel to be an Indonesian in here? So first of all, how does it feel to be an Indonesian at my company? So my company is very big. We have like that many employees. However, we don't have. For example, the Munich site has like 1,500 employees, and we're not the biggest office. Obviously, the biggest one is in Mountain View and in Silicon Valley, right? They have literally that many employees, and so out of 1,500, there are only two Indonesians, one me and this other person. So all I can say is that it's lonely. That's it. I do connect with like other Indonesian, like across different countries. For example, like I chat regularly with one of my Indonesian friends, friend in Mountain View, for example. Sorry, not Mountain View, Sunnyvale. And then I also had another friend in Singapore and in Japan. But it's basically just lonely a little bit. And I feel like, to be honest, I'm working in Germany, so most of the people in here are, well, European, and don't I would say that well, we usually think of European as like, British people, for example. That's it. Like European equals English speaker, but really it's not the case. I mean, like we have lots of Eastern Europe people as well who I mean, like, so for example, English is not our main language. Neither is theirs, for example, right? So yeah, and they also have English problems at work. So it's like it happens all the time. Like when I'm saying something, they don't understand me, but I also don't understand them back. It's like so I had an experience of working with Singaporean people, for example, but for some reason, so their English is very different to ours. I have to say their accent is different. However, the way that they structure the words are kind of similar because they're all Asians, yeah. And I feel like that is a little bit easier to understand. But when it comes to like European English, like German English, like anything that's not British English, it's hard. It's really hard. So yeah, that's what I think. And then just being me in Germany, I think so Germany has lots of Indonesian what you call it, Indonesian nationals. And they come from like various backgrounds. So some of them are students, and this can be like either master students, PhD students, or they can be like just bachelor students. There's some like I would say like D3 students. I want to say that the term in Germany, but obviously would not realize it, recognize it, right? So it's basically like D1, D2, D3 in here, or SMK also. Wow. And then some of them are actually just like, so literally, so you can come here and like, there's a very special SMK program in here, but obviously that will be working here, not in Indonesia. So, well, some people also got married to German people, like German citizens. So they just basically move here. Or I know that there's this thing called Ausbildung. I think this is sorry, not Ausbildung, sorry, au pair. I think it's in lots of countries as well. So with au pairs, it's like you can apply to a family that you want to be part of them. Well, in reality, like what you're going to do is like you're going to be like helping like the children. I would not say being a nanny, but like you're literally just working with the children, like going to school, picking them up and everything. But they will be like providing accommodation and then food, and also they'll be helping you with the language, for example. In here, there are lots of Indonesian people who wants to learn German and because they want to live in Germany, and so they go to this program. And at the end of the program, they actually start to integrate with the community to get an actual education in here. So that is also possible. Sorry for saying too long, but I mean, like, there are lots of Indonesians, so it doesn't feel as lonely. But if I'm being very honest, it can feel a little bit lonely because if you just go to the grocery store and people don't speak your language, like you probably want to hear like what they're saying, but no, they're speaking in German. You don't even know. It's like if it's in English, I'm fine, but this is German. It's like hiya. It's like I have no idea what they're saying. Yeah, so that's it. Anyways, so all right. So I think that'll be like all the questions I take for now, and then I'll be continuing to the other sections, and then right, and then we can have more questions.
Wow.
Thank you for
Thank you, Raki. And then we have the second question from Master
sorry,
Gu.
Mr. Ramdan. Can
Yes.
we actually skip the question just because of the timing? So I have 3 sections, right? So I would like to go to the second section first before I can take more questions. Is that fine?
Yeah, it's okay.
But yeah, I mean, I'll take the question. So just bear with me. All right, wait for maybe another 10 minutes. I didn't know, like, we'll see. All right, sorry, but
Yes.
thank you. All right, so then I want to talk about, I mean, I've already mentioned this a little bit, but I want to continue to the relocation process itself, right? Okay, so overview, like how do you go abroad? Like once you have a, what you call that, your contract. Basically, there are like several steps. The first one is obviously a visa. You need to have a clearance to work in the country. And then you obviously need to actually transport, actually moving to the country. And number 3, I want to say that this is like settling in, but I'll just call it Saudi housing. So yeah, first of all, you need to get a work visa, obviously. Well, for every country is different, but in the case of Germany, so before you go there, you need an entry visa. And you can do this in Indonesia, like you just apply and then you need to come to the actual embassy of the German Republic. Sorry, they're not Republic, but anyway, German. And then you will get a 3 months entry visa. And then yeah, obviously you can go. What are the things that I needed? So I needed passport, obviously. A passport that does not expire for the next 6 months at least, I believe. And then I need to provide a work contract, a copy of it. I need to also provide a university transcript. So every country is different, but Germany is like, they're a big fan of academics. So they really care about your transcript. So, I mean, well, not the exact grades, but they need to just make sure that you are graduating from a university that, that is actually qualified. So the German government, they have this system called ANABIN, basically. So it contains like the list of universities and majors that they're in their university. I had a friend who came from the same university actually, but her major was a little bit newer than mine. So she had a problem when she wants to apply for a visa because like, hey, your what you call that? Your major is not listed in here. I mean, honestly, a lot of time it's just a matter of like listing like the major and also the university to the ANABIN system. But yeah, it can take some time. I mean, lucky for me, like my major has been there for like long time ago, and then the university was like kind of old anyways. So, well, I just show my university transcript, but yeah, that could happen. That could happen, and it was not fun for my friends, because I have 2 people, like 2 friends. So yeah, like experience the same thing. And then I need to also provide a health insurance. It is, well, it might have been known that Germany is one of the better countries in the COVID situation. That is very like thankful to their health system. However, that means once like that moment you step into the German land, you need to have a health insurance. That is like the minimum. I do pay my health insurance until today. This is not something that I think Indonesians do. I mean, like I was also, opposing to the idea, but then I realized that, okay, I mean, well, health insurance is for insurance, right? I mean, I can be sure that I can be, healthy today, but have no idea about tomorrow. So yeah, they have a very extensive health insurance policy thingy. So yeah, then I need to provide health insurance. So, and then when I go to Germany, this is the place where I extend the work permit to a longer term one. So it depends from the job, but usually, so they're like blue collar, white collar job and things like that. For jobs that like for me that I go to the office, for example, typically you would just get 4 years of work permit anyways. So once you apply, even though if you move company, you will have like 4 years work permit. So yeah, that's basically it. And then what I need to provide was like passport, work contract, and then sorry, there are more of that actually. So I need to provide like my proof of, I want to say proof of residency, but probably that's not right. It's like a confirmation from your landlord that you're actually staying in Germany and not like, being in some other country, right? It's just like I want to say it's like catatan RW. It's exactly like that. It's like your Pak RT writes something like, this person actually live in this house. It's like, I don't know how to say that. It's just catatan RW. Like RT, exactly. They're also similar to us. So yeah, and then I need to provide that. So yeah, basically it. So yeah, that's basically it. And then that's how to get a work visa. Everything was cleared. And then I need to fly to Germany. Exactly. So well, there's no direct flight from Jakarta to Munich. We need to transit. I mean, there are different options. We can transit in Bangkok, Singapore, or in Amsterdam. There is a direct from Jakarta to Amsterdam flight. So that's cool, by the way, because there are lots of Indonesian, I believe, and the Netherlands. So I kind of flew for 15.5 hours in total. It was tiring. And then yeah, well, as I mentioned again, so an entry visa was required to just simply fly there. And then so well, when I finally got into the country, and then I need to find the housing, right? So I had like 5 viewings in total, but I have to say that it's a little bit tough. So in Indonesia, when you're finding a kos-kosan, the kos-kosan is usually empty. Like they have like lots of rooms and you just choose, right? That's not the case in Germany. Per house, you can have like 10 competitors at the same time. So that's why you need to do like more than 1 viewings. And then let's say you apply for like all 10, there's no guarantee that they would like you anyway. So it's really, it's a gamble. I was lucky because, I mean, my land, like, so one of the problems is that so many landlords prefer speaking in German. It's like, it's fair. Like you come to Indonesia, obviously, let's say there's an expat in Indonesia, right? We want them to speak our language and not English. Although like we're trying that hard, but really like they don't prefer it, unfortunately. I mean, like, so English can get you through in Germany. That's for sure, but like not really that easily. But it helps. I mean, compared to no English at all, right? So yeah, I then found like some landlord who does speak English. So, and then yeah, I mean like this place. So I'm living in here. So yeah. One other note is that again, kos-kosan in Indonesia, everything is furnished. There's a very nice kitchen, whatever. So, and here, so most places are unfortunately unfurnished. And sometimes you don't even have a kitchen. You have like those connection for like the sink, but you need to install the sink, which I find ridiculous, but really people do that. This is because so a lot of tenants, they rent for like a very long time, like 10 years, for example, and they want like the top-notch best kitchen, for example. And so they would like replace whatever kitchen that was already there. So, landlord just decided to like let the place got unfurnished fully so that they can choose. It's like, it's a very German thing. So yeah, anyways, finding a housing in here is not as simple as finding a kos-kosan, and definitely not as cheap either, unfortunately. I'm a little bit sad on that part, but anyways, it's like when you go abroad, this is one thing that people already know, is that you make a lot of money, obviously, right? Well, depending on the country, but if you go to a first world country like this one, for example, you would earn more money as if like working in Indonesia. However, the cost of living is that high either. You could easily end up with like the same exact saving in here than in Indonesia. So like, please be mindful of that. So yeah. All right. So again, I believe like for the relocation part of it, it was tiring, but it was also exciting. So yeah, that was it basically. All right. So that concludes the second session. I think it was 10 minutes. So I would, give another probably 5 minutes for more questions before we go to the last part of it.
Okay. Okay. Give applause virtually for Kachair for how tough you are back then.
I have friends too, so it was not too bad.
Okay, we have some waiting list questions. Let's start from Mas Teguh. Go ahead with your question.
Okay, I don't think 5 minutes is gonna be enough. I have some really long list question.
Wow. Okay.
I would suggest then if you have that much question, just put one right here, and then at the end of this,
Okay,
everything,
okay.
it'll be like a much longer one. But you could just like ask one right here, and then like cue
Perfect.
the other for.
Yes,
Mhm.
perfect.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, I will ask question for related to the second section. Okay. First of all, I want to ask about like in the slide you say before Germany you have like health insurance. Is it like you have like Indonesian health insurance, but it can use internationally? Can I speak some of brand? For example, I have Prudentials in
Sorry.
Indonesia. Can we do you do that because you said it is before you get on overseas? Okay, and after that you say Miss you say you're searching for a place to stay like 5 hours. Where do you stay first? I mean, like the first week or the second week till you get okay, this is the place I will stay. I mean, so you need like some money first, right?
Yep.
So you're like you need to spend so much. I mean, how you determine that money? How much money? For example, like 3 months living cost or what for before we get to overseas, like uh safe zone. How much money?
Okay, that is a very good question. I actually like, especially the second question. That was like top notch. That was something that I didn't
Thank you,
think
Mas
about
Teguh.
until the last minute, and I regret that decision. But anyways, so first of all, about the health insurance. So yes, it was an Indonesian company issued a health insurance that I can use abroad. So it is kind of common if you go to like most major health insurance provider that they have a program for like traveling abroad, for example. It is like super common. I mean, it's only for short term. For example, like you can book from like just a week of insurance to like 3 months, for example. I actually booked the one for the 3 months insurance. It is very common. So just any major health insurance care provider, they should have it. This is something. So I actually, because this health insurance company have a on like call service, I just call them. I mean, people would hate me. I'm like, you should just like Google it. Then like, I don't want to. I want to call them. And then I called them, and then they said like, yeah, it is possible. And then I just applied, and then it somehow worked. So yeah, I mean, I think like the Indonesian health provider, they're a little bit advanced in this place because like in reality, lots of people buy health insurance, but in Indonesia, it's not really like a what you call it, an obligation, right? So you buy it if you want to go abroad. And then when you go abroad, like people tend to need to have like some health insurance. So that's why they have a market for this. So yeah, basically it's not that complicated. And then for the second question about how much money, it is a very good question. I really regret for not knowing this until I signed the contract. I was like, wait a second, I'm not going to get paid until the first month, right? And then I probably, want to not work for like 2 months right now because I need to prepare for whatever relocation, right? I realized like, I'm actually screwed. Well, I was lucky because I had like some savings, and well, people like to talk about like, family support and how privileged people are with it. I'll have to be honest. I mean, my parents also live in Jakarta. So like during that time, I'll just like, stay at my parents' house, not spend anything, eat whatever in the pantry. No go food. No go food. It's like just whatever in the like in the kitchen. Thank you, mom. I love your cooking. So I really save a lot by that because I stopped working for like I think so. So I started relocating in November. My work actually started in December, and then I already stopped working in October, right? So for the whole October, I was like unemployed, and then for the November, I was like busy preparing the flight and everything. So yeah, it costs a lot actually. So I was lucky that at least the flight part of it was covered by my company. Very lucky, I have to say. But this is not the case with everyone, and I do know that like you probably need like a lot. And then, yeah, so when I came here, and then obviously I need to pay for like, for the housing and everything. I use my saving for that. I do. But so I think like you also probably want to know about the details, right? So what are the expenses? First of all, health insurance, as I have mentioned. And second of all, there's also a visa issuance fee. Again, this is something that usually the employers would actually cover, so you don't need to really worry about that, but just be mindful of it. That was the second of all. And the third part of it is that I need to take care of the accommodation. So when I first came, that'll be like a temporary accommodation, right? This is very tricky. I remember that I mentioned housing in Germany is ridiculously hard to get, right? So this is what a lot of people do. If they're young enough, they'll be like going to their friends, like, like master friend, and then, just like hitch a ride for a full month or even more, right? But although, so I have to be very careful with this one. So technically in Germany, you are obligated to have an address, like the moment that you came here. As an address, remember the surat Pak RT that I mentioned? If you're just hitching if you're just like, hitching at a friend's place, you cannot have that surat Pak RT. So this is also tricky. So like in most people's case, they just like hitch like for a week, and then, like pretend that the German government would not figure out if they can. So, and then, they just like have like some temporary accommodation that can provide that surat Pak RT. Yeah, that's a lot. So yeah, I actually had like 1 month of temporary accommodation. Although to be fair, I was lucky that in the middle of that 1 month, I already got like a long-term place, and then luckily I can cancel the previous place with a charge, unfortunately, but I can cancel it. And then so yeah, how much money exactly was that? So obviously like the temporary and then for the long term, but note that there is just like a housing deposit, right? And then that is like 3 months times the rent. It's like three times the monthly rent. That is a lot, honestly. Well, 3 months the rent minus the operating cost. Like, like sometimes like some buildings charge you like, this is waste management charge. You don't need to pay for that. Just like the house security. You need to provide this kind of money. It's just, let's say you cannot pay your rent, and then your landlord can take that money from the security deposit, or for example, you break something in the house that badly, that your insurance somehow does not cover. Well, I hope everything covers though, but yeah, I mean, like, they can charge it from there. So yeah, that's basically it. So it was like, so for people, it's visa, and then the flight, and then the first month accommodation, and then 3 months of security deposit, and then don't forget to prepare for the first month of the new rent. So that's like a lot of them. I don't know, everyone is different. Just try to calculate that. And also, sorry, forgot, then you'll probably need to eat, right? Oops, forgot. That is very important. I almost forgot. So yeah,
Okay.
I kind of spent a lot like in the first days when I first came here to eat, because I have no idea like which one is a cheap place. So yeah, also think about that. Yeah, that's basically
All
it.
right. Thank you so much, Mas Teguh. And let's move to Eka Agustina.
All right, this will be the last question for this one, right? Because sorry, I overtime. All right. Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. Your
Okay. Thank you for the opportunity. I want to ask, what kind of software developer are you? Are you a front end, back end, or other? And what language, I mean a programming language, do you use at work? And do you have any advice?
Okay.
Advice for what?
Do you have any advice for a computer science student to get there too? Since I am a computer science student, so it will be very helpful if I have those answers. Thank you.
All right.
Thank
If
you.
I'm being very honest, I would love to just like spend a longer on the third question, but that means I would need to defer it after the third part of the question. Is that okay? Right. Cool. So yeah, type. I don't know. I'm a software engineer, but I don't specialize. So you can say it as I'm a backend engineer. I do infrastructure stuff. I don't know how to explain it. I mean, like computer science people know. It's like I deal with like, for example, service to service propagation of data. And then not only like propagating data from one service to another, but also talks about like their metrics, their monitoring, their alerting. Like for example, when things go bad, I'm the person who my system alerts other people who need to fix it for things like that. So I work with like rather low level stuff, but I also do a little bit of front end work a bit, but front end is definitely not my specialty. I just do it for the sake of I need to do it, but that means it's only for internal tooling. So I don't work for like end product for that. For consumer and product, I only deal with the backend stuff. So yeah, that's my answer. And then so for the language that I'm using, so every company is different, obviously. My company is a little bit, I mean, like it's been there for much longer, but I would just say like the major languages that we're using. So for the front end frameworks, there are a lot of them. Obviously, JavaScript is being used, TypeScript and things like that. For the back end, C++ is almost everywhere, especially for the backend stuff. So by the way, I'm only sharing something that people that is actually available online, so I'm not like leaking anything, basically. So, and then there's Java as well. Java is good because it doesn't really depend on like which I don't know how to say it, but it's like a little bit machine agnostic basically. So yeah, Java and also Golang. For example, Golang is a language that is like kind of invented by my company, so obviously we're using it, right? So and then there's also Python a little bit for lots of scripting. So yeah, that's basically it. Again, from every team, that'll be different. But I would say that if you really want to go to this company, master either Java or C++, and then it'll be good. Like master either one of them. I personally, I want to say master, but man, sorry, that'll be too much. But I kind of specialize in Java, but I also code in C++. But honestly, like my forte is in Java. So yeah, that's it. And then for the third question about like what are the tips, I think Mas Ramdan, can you remind me? And then I will answer it like just after this one. All right, because it'll be a little bit longer, and that is actually very interesting to answer. So yeah, all right. And sorry, I like to talk a lot, so let's go to the final one.
It's okay, Kajai. And there's 3 person that want ask something.
Okay. Can we also defer it after this? So I promise this is the last section. I promise. Pretty promise. I'll try to make it quick. I like to talk.
It's okay. Let's move to wow. So many questions.
Right.
Let's move to Rizky.
Mas Ramdan, sorry, I want to finish the section first before I can answer the question. Is that okay?
Okay.
Yeah. All right, thank you.
So,
all right, cool. I'll try. I promise to make it quick. All right. Okay, so this is the last. I want to talk about life at work because here's the thing. Going working abroad, like it feels like a vacation. A lot of people think of it like that. But at the end of the day, we did all of this hassle just to work, right? It's to work eventually. You're going to build a career. So probably also want to mention like how about like what's the life at work look like? At least from the general perspective. So yeah, I want to talk about it in like 3 aspects. For example, like how, including how people communicate in here, and how the work culture is different, and then how the type of work differs or not differ from the one back in Jakarta. So in terms of communication, obviously everything is in English. Well, there are lots of meetings, like lots and lots and lots of meetings. So again, when I mentioned about like company culture, I kind of feel like my company's culture is that we talk a lot, like literally people talk a lot in meetings. It's like, that's the culture. I mean, it helps to make sure that there's nothing ambiguous. It's like everything is clear because like, we just say everything what we want to say, we clarify everything, we just ask everything. Yeah, so yeah, that's it. And then there are lots of work reports and documentations as well. And then I have lots of lunch conversations as well, or coffee conversation, as you want to say it. For the code, like for the technical work itself, I have to say like software engineer like benefit from the fact that their work is a little bit language agnostic, as in like the same code in any country is the same. Like it uses a very different language called the programming language, right? So it's same anyway. So yeah, I mean that one is not in English obviously, but the rest is in English. So and also so even though this is in the German office, only 40% of them are German people. That is already a lot too. But they respected the foreigners, like someone like me, by speaking in English. So remember again, so this is not UK. And I mean like even like UK, right? If a company would have some expatriates, they would have like, you know, foreigners.
Oh.
Chances are not everyone are native English speakers in the company. Some people speak in an accent, and I mean like not like British accent, American accent, Australian accent, Singaporean accent. No, it's not really like that. I mean like talk about like Croatian accent, Russian accent, or like Chinese accent. Like those accent you have never heard of. It's like you have no idea what they're talking about until you actually like listen carefully to them. I mean, to be fair, Indonesian accent is also a little bit tricky for them as well. So, well, it's fair. I mean, some people, I mean, I tend to speak too fast, I guess. And then some people has been asking me to speak slower. It's like, I'm sorry. It's like I'm always on caffeine, you know? It's like I need to say. And then again, also, this is also about culture. The same sentence can mean very different things to different people. So I remember, so I was making some comments in a document, right? Like in a design. I mentioned that I believe that this part will be a challenge. So like, and then like stop mark, that's it. This person actually panicked a lot. I mean, what I mean is that I mentioned that this is a challenge, so please think about it, like about the design, like, you know, just rework it. But this person thought that this was actually like a, you know, like a red flag, as in like, oh no, my system cannot actually go because she said this is a blocker. And then I need to actually like talk to her for like a whole 1 hour to explain like, no, this is not what I meant. What I meant is that this is challenging. You need to think about it. Like, but this is not a blocker. It's like, anyways, so yeah, it happens a lot with international companies. And again, to be fair, chances are, if you're already foreigners, you cannot work at an English speaking, like English company. It's like, it's going to be like this, like everyone is different. I mean, like you yourself might be confusing for other people, right? So, you know, just embrace the difference. It's like, for me, I have to be patient when I can't understand others, and others need too. They need to be patient when I can't understand. So when these kind of things happen, you know, just ask for clarification, you know, talk with them for a long 1 hour to explain what you meant. It's fine. It just happens. I mean, like, yeah, the other person was, you know, I mean, they were very open to it. So yeah. And then, so again, so in terms of communication style, please, I mean, for me, I know that some people are direct while some others are the opposite. So when we watch like American TV shows or, you know, British comedy shows or whatever, we can find that like a lot of people are very direct, like they say what they want, right? But again, if you're working abroad, not everyone is.
Sorry, who is the operator? Please help.
All right. So yeah, but anyways, I mean like, well, so please be mindful about like the communication style of other people. If you, I mean, there's like no single formula. And for me, I feel like I just needed to be who I am. I trust the judgment of other people is that when people disagree to my approach, they will tell me. If they don't, it's their loss. Like, why didn't they tell me, right? So yeah, that's about communication abroad. And then work culture. Germany is very strict about working only 8 hours a day. And I say only. You cannot exceed it. I mean, in Indonesia, it's like cool. Like, oh yeah, this person actually like came home at 2 a.m. Yeah, that is cool. It's like, nah. German people think you're stupid if you do that. Like, why the hell do you need more than 8 hours to work? Are you stupid? I'm sorry. But like, well, German people can be really, really rude. that's really what happens. It's like I remember like I was staying like at until 7, and then people are already saying like, come home, you need to sleep, otherwise tomorrow you cannot work. It's like, okay, all right. Anyways,
Wow.
so yeah. And then at least for my company, it is flexible, but we also have a core working hour. It's like I need to be in the office by 10, but I can leave like as early as 4. But this is just so that I have like a common working hours to have meetings. And also because I also work with my colleagues in the US and also in Sydney. Some days I start very much earlier because I need to talk with the Sydney folks, but I also sometimes stay much later so that I can talk with the what you call that, with the US folks, for example. So yeah, and then lastly, promise this is the last. For type of work, I have to say, this is what I understand. Jakarta is cool. As in, like, we already have lots of very cool things. You know, like a lot of people are less confident. They try to compare with like people abroad, like, they're doing very cool stuff and we're not doing it. It's like, honestly, I have to say, like, whatever I was doing in Jakarta, it was already great. And what I heard from my friends from other companies, what they're doing was like already great. It's just the difference is that like how you frame your story. I think like people abroad are better at like framing their story. I mean, like this is the exact same thing that you're doing, but you know, you somehow like think about the social aspect better. You simply think about like how to present it better, you know, just to make it a better package somehow. This is what I understand. It's like, so that's why I mentioned like, but I found that like abroad, like organizationally, it is much more complex. It's like you need to really convince people that this is great and things like that. So yeah, great. And the standard is then much higher. But honestly, like technical wise, it's easy. So I would say that if you're in a technical world, like either you're a software engineer or like whatever engineer, getting a job abroad is not that hard. Like the harder part is like the organizational part of it. But really like technically, I believe that a lot of people can actually already do it. So yeah, again, and also, well, working abroad for me, like just a takeaway from it, I think it taught me to be much more tolerant towards people that are different from me. I mean, different is not only like Indonesian to Singapore, Indonesian to Japanese, but really like Asian to European as well. And different race, different religion, different background. It's like it's it's yeah, it's very eye-opening. And also for me, like I think like being a minority in here as well, like as in like, you know, I'm Indonesian, not like I only have on other people, so it kind of pushed me to work more efficiently as well and to produce better quality, so you know, like I can show the world that I can actually compete. So yeah, sorry. Okay, so yeah, finally that was it. Let's go. Finally, I know the people have burning questions.
Okay, it's really interesting. Give applause to Kai Chair. Yeah, no wonder some people ask you to speak slower. Yeah, but it's really interesting. Yeah, and we have some question. Let's start from Dizzy. Go ahead, Dizzy. And please keep your raise hand icon so I can notify for the rest. Dizzy, are you there? Hello, Dizzy. Okay, let's move to Damar.
So can we talk about the student question first? Because I realized that I promised to answer that, but I haven't, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to talk about like the tips for students. First of all, work really hard. This is so annoying, right? Sorry, but I feel like, so when it comes to being a software engineer, it is a very practical field. There is no way that you're going to be great at it overnight. And there's no way of reading books only can actually make you good. Literally put your put your hands dirty, like, and code some real stuff, like a lot of them. It's like at least for me. So the first year of university, I think like I wasn't really good at coding. Second year, I was also still crying in my program, like really literally crying to my friend after like exams. It's like for some reason my code could not compile, and then I still cry until the second year. The third year was much better. The fourth year I was like much more confident. And even so, like after graduating, I mean, I didn't apply for any company abroad, honestly, because I was not any confident at all. I know that there are lots of like gaps in my skills that I need to fix first. And therefore, that's why I actually like, worked at like a company in Indonesia first, because, I mean, like at least like the communication part is taken care of. Like everyone's speaking Bahasa Indonesia, so that's easy. I just worked through it, and then like I basically asked like lots of very senior people like how do you do this thing, like how you're approaching it. So it's really not just like um, how do they do it, but I also ask like how do you figure out, how do you find the answers. I asked for like the formula right there. I was lucky because like, I mean, I get to meet lots of very senior people, and then I know that, okay, so these people regularly go to these kind of meetups to know about technology. This person, when they look at a very technical documentation, they look at these things first. These are the things that matters for them, and these are not. So I actually learned a lot in the middle. So I think like the tip is just like work the best that you can do right now, like ace your classes. That is like obviously it. It's like this is a very practical and technical field. There's no way that you can like, oh, okay, I have a very good social skill. I'm sorry, but it's not really not going to work if you're working a very technical work. I mean, it can actually work at other, for example, if you want to be a program manager, obviously you need to be socially adept, right? Again, when it comes to being a software engineer, obviously you need to ace your class. I mean, like that's really, I cannot answer like anything better than that. So yeah, just ace your class, and then like, just work with whatever opportunity was in front of you. If you found an internship program, go for it. And then, after an internship, you actually level up your level by a little bit. And then you find a harder like challenge, and then like stay there for a while, and then like work for another project. And then once you feel you're ready, you just go abroad. I actually never imagined that I would be working at this company, because it is kind of, well, I mean, like, I don't want to brag about it, but it is quite competitive. I didn't start overnight. Like in university, I cannot even dream about it. But like, I work myself through, and then like I work at a better company, and then better company, and then like, sorry, I mean better company, and then better projects. And then I realized that, okay, I can actually do it. And now then I'm applying. So it's a step. So yeah, just that's it.
Okay. Okay, let's move to Damar. Damar?
Yeah. So, Kak Shair, I would like to ask about. So when I hear about applying a job, when I hear about yeah, applying a job, I think about a competition. So I would like to know, based on your experience, like how do you compete? How do you compete with other local applicants, like German people? How do you compete with them before you get the job? When you apply the job, how do you compete with them? And when you get the job, how do you compete with their working environment? And what did you prepare to? What do you prepare? What are the things that you prepare to compete with them? And then I have the second question, if you allow me.
That was already so many questions, by the way. I cannot remember that.
Okay. It's fine. Thank you.
My bad.
The other opportunity to ask again.
Okay, thank you.
You can ask again, but it's just like my brain cannot process. I need more coffee, right? So anyway, about competition. So first of all, when you're dealing with any company that is like saying international, your competition is not only people from that country. It's not only for German people. It's really like everyone in the world who wants to work in Germany, right? It's not just German people. What I think, like what I have like prepared myself for is that you know, usually good companies, they actually list like what are the things that you need to be proficient at. Like for example, in my company, it's like, oh, you need to be proficient at an algorithm. I aced it. You need to be very good at data structure. I also aced it. And then you need to go for system design. And then I also aced it. It's like, so they're like very clear signs, especially for technical jobs, by the way. So for technical jobs, it's really clear what you need to do. And then obviously, you also need to ace the communication part of it, because otherwise you cannot sell your skills, basically, right? So, I mean, mastering English was important. Like like the more proficient you are, the better, I believe. Although, like, again, there's like if you pass the bare minimum, that'll be already okay. So yeah, those are the things that I prepared, basically. And then, like, once I know that whatever I had was like enough, like qualifying for them, I just basically apply. If, let's say, I was rejected, I would either, just try to work on those skills again, or, just find some company with a more matching league to myself, and then wait for myself until I can scale up to that. So that's really just it. Yeah. So, okay. Sorry.
Okay.
Fine. Sorry.
Okay, thank you, Damar. And let's move to Rizky Prameswari. Go ahead.
Okay, hi Kashai.
Hi.
So I have lots of questions, but I'm just using this one. So was there like a salary negotiation stage before you signed the contract?
Can you
And
answer that? No. Yes.
oh, no?
No.
Oh, okay. So how was it? They just like offer you a salary, and then after that, you just have to, if you want, then you sign, and then if you don't, then you don't sign. So it was just like that.
Yeah, it's as simple as that. I want to explain this. I mean, sorry for HRs out there. If you are offering your candidates to do negotiation, it's really unfair. Honestly, it's really unfair. So here's the thing. For example, there's a person called Alice and then Bob, right? Alice is already working in there for like 3 years, and then Bob came. They're working at the same job level, but Alice, like, I mean, she joined like much longer ago, right? And then so she had like a regular package, and then Bob, like with the same job level, like because he actually joined later, and then like he wants to negotiate, and then the recruiter thinks that, okay, I'll just like up the offer so that Bob will actually come to the to join, right? It's really unfair for Alice. It's really, really unfair. You know what happened in the long run? Alice would just leave,
Okay.
It's so annoying. So a lot of big companies, they don't do salary negotiation at all.
Okay.
For example, so Google is well, sorry for again saying that. I mean, like for my companies, like for the exact same job level, I mean, they already know, like, okay, we're giving you the salary because based on your qualification, this is what we can give you, for example. So it is very, very equal to like everyone within the exact same job level.
Wow, I actually like that system. Thank you, Kat, for answering my question.
Yeah,
Thank
sure.
you, Rizky. And let's move to Sari.
Yeah, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Kak, it's very interesting question about your experience. Thank you for giving this to us. Now, can I ask something about the specific majoring that you took when you were in the college era?
Computer
Example,
science.
you told us that engineer, and then
Computer science. Yeah.
computer science, amazing. The second one is, did you apply? I saw link. Yeah, I use link just for getting some information, not applying job. But I saw your from a photo profile before the previous one. I saw link. Yeah, is it now? It is it's encourage me to find out the link job foreign job based on the link that you just shared about this one. The second question.
The link is careers.google.com. That's it.
Oh, I see. Okay. The second question is, do you have friends that something like you and your friends just join at the same time? Example, let's apply to another country in the same majoring. What do you think? Is there any kind of such a friend or your family have a same idea like you? That's all. Thank you very much.
Sure. I need to clarify a little bit. When you mentioned that, like, I have a friend who's applying the same time. So, okay, sorry, I can already answer it. Sorry. I don't have anyone also applying at the same time. It was just me. I mean, like, I just applied on my own and then I got lost. I got very lucky. I have a high school senior who happened to be in the same university, although different major. And then like I just like chat him like, you know, a month before my departure to him. It's like, I'm lost. Can you tell me like how to deal with it? Yeah, so I got very lucky with that part, but I don't have any friends that applied together. So I later realized that there was also someone else who's also applying that is also my friend, but you know we didn't coordinate at all. Like we only realized like, oh, I'm here and you're in Zurich, ha ha ha. Like Zurich and Munich is very close, by the way. It's different countries but on the borderline. So yeah, I really didn't.
You don't have it. So because of don't you feel afraid such a living alone in such another country, not far away from Indonesia? Because of me myself, I got such a dream like you long time ago when I was in such a school time era or college time era, but I just closed it because of my mom. Yeah, it's difficult for my mom to let me go. That how come to such a convince your family, especially mama? Yeah, what do you think? Because we are female area, we are female, we are girls. What do you think?
Right.
To convince your family.
First of all, I have no friends.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. I do have
Okay.
friends. But like, I mean, what I meant is that when I first got here, I didn't know that much people. I do know the senior, which was like not close to me. I later found that I have like a university friend that I wasn't really very close to. I mean, sorry. Yeah, well, I'm in the same city, but we were not really close. And then like I just get to know her. So yeah, and then like about convincing the parents part. This is one thing that I want to tell everyone. I'm very obedient to my parent, unfortunately. Actually, my mom wanted me to go abroad. So I didn't have the exact same problem. I would be actually not obedient if I don't go abroad. If I'm being very, very honest, I was a little bit pressed on that part. Yeah. My mom already had her master's degree abroad. The reason why I speak English so well because when I was a kid, I was already in London. So, well, here's the thing. I want to make sure that here's the thing. You have like what you want. You have what your parents want. You know your parents better. I cannot say like how to convince your parents. You know it better already, right? So, if you think that your parents can be convinced, try to convince them. But if you think that they're too worried about you, don't try to convince them. Or somehow like ask them like what are they most worried about. You're not having friends, you cannot get married. Some people are concerned about that. I'm also getting to be concerned, but anyways. so um, so there are lots of concerns, and then try to address them one by one. It's like if it's just like having friends, and then try to figure out how to find friends. If they're worried about like you're not maybe not getting married, whatever, make a plan. Like, how long do you want to go abroad? And then like, when will you come back? Like, how would you find your husband then, therefore? And then like, so also try to figure out like, why do you want to go abroad in the first place? Was it to gain some experience? And then like, for what? Like, what is the greater goal in here? For me, for example, I actually want to go back to my country, but I kind of want to lead a company later. So this is why I'm going abroad, to learn all these stuff. So it's like, try to convince your parents that the story match like the whole story. It's like not just like, I want to go abroad, but I have no idea what. I mean, to be fair, a lot of people do that, and that's fine. I mean, if you really want to do it, it's fine. But again, when convincing parents go into the picture, then you need to think about the long picture, right? So yeah. But anyways, by the way, I just have to say to all the women out there, having a dream is good. So go there, like go abroad, go wherever you want. If you're cool. So
All right.
Thank you. It's hard to do. Thank you.
Good luck, Sari. Okay.
Okay. Amin.
We have last question from Aris. Go ahead, Aris.
Can I have another question maybe after this one?
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Share. Thank you, Ramdan. Yeah. Just Aris. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is Aris speaking. Just a simple question. After English, what next language that you want to you want to master while you are living in Munich? Is it Germany or any Nordic language or what? Something like that.
First of all, German is not a Nordic country. It is a Germanic country.
Okay.
Well, sorry, the jokes aside, but I think like in Germany, people speak in German basically. So that would be my next language that I want to master, if you're wondering. So although to be fair though, mastering German is like hard when you already know English. Sorry, it's like when you already know two languages, learning the third one is a little bit tricky because and then you got like, so people say that yeah, I'm bilingual. But then I would say, no, you're bilingual. It's like goodbye, lingual. You don't you don't know how to speak anyways. It's hard. So yeah, the answer is German, if you're asking about that. That's just because I want to probably live a little bit more comfortably. I mean, I can order food, I can do my groceries, but I cannot be like dengerin gosip tetangga kan. Yeah. So yeah, that's it. All right. I know
Okay.
that someone wants to ask again, so I'll make it quick
Okay.
this time.
It's your turn, Rizky. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Kak Ramdam, for letting me to ask one question, maybe one last or.
Sure.
Okay, thank you. Firstly, I want to say that Kak Chair's experience is, really inspiring for me, and because to me, for someone who coming from Indonesia, working overseas and in a technical job like engineer, software engineer, is like kind of a big achievement to me. And actually, what the question that was meant to us was about English, Kair, but you have already answered that one because you just said that you learn English from, let's say, exposure from your, your environment, where you maybe lived
Can I
before with your
actually have a
parents.
short question answer to
And
that?
so I changed my question. So
It's okay. Sorry for interviewing. Just to be clear, sorry, I don't want to discourage people when I mentioned that. Yeah, I already speak English when I was a kid. Notice how young I was back then. I was only 3. So people say, yeah, it's better if you speak English when you're younger. But that means my English was like only present tense.
Oh,
Like
I
3
see.
years old speak in present tense. They don't say like I have had done this when this happened. They don't say that. I have no idea like how to do those kind of things. And my mom actually she's very nice. I mean, like, I love her. Thank you, mom, if you're watching. I'm a good kid, right? So she actually like helped me with like lots of English lessons. Honestly, so I've been like going through those. I didn't go to like English first, but I went to this thing called Kumon English. If you know, actually go to those kind of stuff like to fix the grammar and then to help with the reading. So I mean, I also learned English a lot, but I think one takeaway is that I was very confident about it when I was a kid. It's like thinking like I can already do it, and I feel like a lot of people they just I mean like once you have the confidence to do it, you can just basically do anything. So just be confident about it.
So,
Okay.
why I said it so, it was because, I learned that, learning English by exposure is, the best way maybe how to, acquire a language. But actually, it was not my question because you already answered it, right? So my real question is, how much was it different from what you expected when you work overseas, before you decided to work there? What is the reality? I mean, what how much was it different? Or because before you stated that in the end of the day, the work is just the work. I mean, we work, and whether where it is. And thank you.
Right. So I think like when people go abroad, they people think that, oh, you're cool, you can go to Paris, you can go to those mountains, you can go to places where these celebrity actually go and things like that. That's what I think like with what people see from our lives. And then like people would say that, oh, that means you're working with like with celebrities also than like at work. It's like, no, not really. I mean, and then like I do see lots of cool people like at work. I mean, like I see like some experts, like real experts, they're like that cool in their field, for example, and then I'm literally like just humbled by their presence. But eventually, it's just again, it's work. I mean, that it's also technical. You need to read documentations. You fail a lot of times. I do cry a lot of times. Um, it's again, it's just work. It's just like working in Indonesia minus the traffic. But it's really just that. And then like at the end of day of the work, you might think like, okay, that's it. But at the end of the work, you need to also do your laundry, for example. You need to also cook your food. You also need to do groceries. You need to do house cleaning. You need to make friends. Things are very similar actually. So I kind of thought that it would be like that different. I mean, the different part was like when I need to actually adapt to like the culture. But once those things are sorted out, actually things are quite similar. So yeah. I mean, except from the fact I cannot be gossiping with ibu tetangga. I can't use that part. I have lots of questions. Kapan nikah at home? I don't have a question.
Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. And then, Kak, if you allowed, we still have last question from Kak Sarina. Go ahead, Kak.
Sure, we can go for another 1 hour. I'm just kidding. I mean, you probably just like,
Hello,
no,
Kak Sarina.
oh God.
Are you there? Kak Sarina, hi. Hello. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, go ahead.
Hi, Kashera. How are you? Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Yeah. I cannot come by video because I'm so far. I'm in East Nusa Tenggara, so I just come by voice. May I ask? I want to ask you? May I know, beside the career, beside job, what makes you feel at home living in a very poor country, especially you're a girl? So for me, it's something wow like that. So let me know.
Okay, what helps me to still feel like home? I call my mom almost every lunch. I still do it. Again, I mentioned I'm a very obedient person. It's like I'm like afraid of my mom, actually. Sorry. So, well, I mean, not really every day. It's like if I don't have meetings, right? I mean, for example, my mom just called me, by the way, as we're doing this, and it's just like, Mom, call me later. That was like literally my lunchtime. It was like past 12, so that really happened. So that's the first thing. I'm like, I keep connected to my roots, which is my family in this case. Well, so that is the first thing, and then the second one, like how to actually feel home right here. Have Indonesian friends as well. There are lots of Indonesian people in here. By the way, so you mentioned that you're from Eastern Nusa Tenggara, right? Interestingly, in Germany, there are lots of Eastern Nusa Tenggara people. I actually have like an aunt, like also from Eastern Nusa Tenggara, by the way. She actually made my uncle in Germany. So interesting, right? So there are lots of Eastern Nusa Tenggara people in here. I mean, interesting, right? So just find people who are closer to your roots. And here, I mean, like, we'll find with like someone from the same hometown, for example. And for me, like I find some friend from the same university before. I mean, obviously there are not that many of us in here, but like, just having like 2 other friends who are exactly like that, that was like already very helpful. It helps to remind you. And then like for the food itself, it's a bit tough because there's no nasi padang, for example. I kind of miss nasi padang. And then, so yeah, that one is something that I need to compromise. I mean, I miss Indonesian food, but really like at least having some Indonesian friends, that helps a lot. Yeah. And we have WhatsApp right now, right? You can just like call your Indonesian friends. So
all right.
That's what I do. So yeah. All right. So okay. By the way, I'm happy to go over time, but I know that the Britzone, like, you probably have something after this, so I don't want to violate that. But really, if you want to go over time, I'm honestly really open to it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't have
and hey, one last question from Teguh, and this is.
Oh, right. I promise. Sorry, I'm sorry, Teguh. I promise this to you. I'm sorry.
Yeah. He asked all about the conclusion.
Okay, I hope this is. I don't know why this is English. The English for this one pamungkas question. I think yeah. I don't know why the English for pamungkas. I think. Okay, so in the end of the day, let's say we have really good life in Indonesia. Maybe we have like bigger salary than the others. Maybe we have like have better company than the others. Sorry, I will start my video. We have like better life than the others. Is it really worth to go overseas? Okay, to like risking that. I don't say okay. This is for the experience and anything. For experience, it should be sure the answer will be yes. But for example, most of the people want to go to overseas to have better life. Okay, how if we already feel I do have like better life than the others? Is it really worth? Sorry for the other guys. Please don't kill your dream. I just ask because I'm like so into the reality.
That is a
I do have
valid
a dream, but I
question.
just
I
face
would
the
love to
reality.
answer it. I would love to answer it.
Yeah.
So, okay, right. This is a very good question. I should actually include it in my presentation. So, going abroad is not for everyone, honestly, really. This is just an example, right? There are lots of Indonesian students in here who didn't actually graduate. They never graduated. The graduation level of Indonesian people are very low. So just to begin with, so people who came to Germany to find just the school, so they already come like being an au pair, for example, and then like, the success rate of getting a university is actually only 10%. Like people, and after a few months, they come home, 3 years, they come home, they cannot find a university, for example. And then for those who actually got into the university, what you call that, the graduation rate, sorry, success rate is only 50%. If you take a look at these people's like background, they can easily go to top universities in Indonesia. I mean, come on, they got to Germany in the first place, right?
Okay.
But somehow, I mean, Germany is tough if I'm being very honest. I've heard similar stories with people going to the States and also to Singapore. Yeah, so this is probably a little bit common, but like they already go abroad, and then for some reason life is a little bit hard, and then they just lost their hope and then come back home. So unfortunately, going abroad is a hard thing unless you have like a very good basic already. Basic as in like not only about the skills, by the way, but also your like emotional support of it. Like for example, is your parents approving? Or maybe if you're not close to your parents, do you have like very good friends who are going to help you with like, succeeding the mission, at least like, calling you once a week, like, hey, how are you doing? And things like that. So it's like, it is very tough, unfortunately. I've seen lots of people actually break. Honestly, I have to say, like, I already have like a very comfortable job before. Honestly, like I go to work, everyone knows me in the whole like the whole area. Like right now, it's like not I don't know everyone. It's like I only know people in my team. Like I'm not popular anymore. So well, I'm not saying popular though. But yeah, I mean it's very hard. I kind of feel like, what, maybe should I just come home? Although like to be fair, after 6 months, I was like, nah, I'm just like, why am I kidding? I actually want. So it is very tough and it's not for everyone. But whether it's worth it or not, think about the opportunity cost, right? If you have a very comfortable life already in Jakarta and you're happy with it, you might not need to go abroad. If your parents are happy about you, if your kids, for example, are happy about you and you're happy about the concept of you don't need to go abroad. However, if all of those nice things does not satisfy you anymore, or maybe like in my case, my parents keep begging me, do something about your life abroad, then go abroad. You can actually find like lots of life's blessing. A lot of people, when I say that, a lot of people don't succeed. For those who succeed, they succeed very well. They really like living in Germany. They're doing their best. And then when they come to the country, they can actually, like be those like Nadiem Makarim, for example. Like actually, I mean, well, Nadiem Makarim is like probably too cool. I know lots of people who go back from abroad and they actually become like top executives in their companies, although they're not celebrities. So,
Yes,
yeah.
that's one of my purpose, quite honestly, because I don't have a chance to like study university overseas. So I took the chance like, okay, I have the other next level. I have professional experience. overseas. Okay, from Indonesia. This sorry if this go to more professional. Okay, back let's say I have to spend 3 years overseas. Back to Indonesia, I built my company. Investor might be trusted, more trusted. Okay, this is like if you have been long enough in overseas, this is like the trendsetter of every startup in Indonesia. Okay, most of the CEO or most of the fund, the one who built it, always like they are like graduate from overseas, like graduate from perhaps like Nadim and anything like that. But okay, I want to go to the next level. Let's say I do have a dreams like work overseas, not because the money. Okay, the money maybe we see this is good from us Indonesian people, but the cost living also quite big, right? This is like it's like the same. I mean, if we cannot only eat meat every day, it's same. But is it really worth it to taking the risk? Okay, I want to go overseas. Like it's not like for permanent stay. Okay, it's just like for maybe just some years, like 2 or 3 years to, and go back to Indonesia to like build my own kingdom, I think, or my company, so they more trusted. Is it one of your goal? Okay, sorry if this quite straight. Is this what your goal to go back from Indonesia? You bring like, man, I do have already work overseas. I do have really I don't mind on high pressure. People on overseas who really didn't know me already trust me. So you are as the investor, why you didn't trust me? And I already see your LinkedIn. Okay, it's really let's say you back from Indonesia. I'm really sure. I'm really 100% sure. So many like investor want to invest to you. For example, if you build some company, okay, you already have that.
Sorry for interrupt, Master Gu, but
yeah,
we are about time. We have to end this session.
Yeah, in the conclusion, is it really worth it? Yeah, I just want to say, is it really worth it?
Question. Okay, so everyone has their own goals of going abroad, even doing the same thing. They both work, they have different goals. One of them wants to have a better life. The other one might want to have like a better life back home. Like for example, like you mentioned, like you want to build your own company and then you go abroad, right? And then you want people to invest in you. That is one goal. I know some people who simply want to go abroad for the sake of going abroad, and they want to have, their kids to be able to go abroad in first world country, right? So worth it or not, it's really like depending on like what's your goal, right? If you just want to have like investor trusting in you, I have to say, can you actually already make them trust you without going abroad already? If you can, do it then. It might actually be harder, just surviving the living abroad part. It's already tough. But if that thing, like it's not hackable, like for some reason you still cannot convince them, and you know that technically you are capable of, then prove it. Go abroad, prove that you can actually work abroad, and then come back home and then say to the investors, I've told you I can actually do it, and then show them what you're actually capable of. That's it.
Right.
Worth it or not, it really depends on your goal, unfortunately.
All right.
Well,
thank you so much. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Yeah, it's about time we have to end the session, but please once again give applause virtually to our conductor for your insight, your experience already shared to us. Yeah, and then sorry, we have to end the session because it's already click the time. So before we end the session, please turn on your video because we gonna do our photo session. If you have any question, you can contact Aceh personally. All right. Yeah.
Of course, you can follow me. I want to be an artist. I'm just kidding. Sorry.
Okay. Please go turn on your video and take a picture.
All right.
Asha, Aris, please. I hope all can take a picture with your turn on video. All right. Hima, Ismi, Kasarina, Ulfa. Okay, on my side until 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, one pause again. 1, 2, 3. All right. Thank you so much, guys, for coming our Saturday
Can I have
class,
one more thing? Sorry,
especially
one more
for
thing.
our conductor, Kachay.
Can I have just one more
Really
thing?
appreciate.
Sorry, Mas Ramdan, can I just one more remark? So,
okay,
these are my contacts. I know that someone was like telling about it. So, I mean, I'm on Instagram basically, right? And I also have an email. Although to be fair, to be very honest, I don't always reply to them. When I have the time, I will like reply in length, but really I don't have any promise on that. So, you know, I mean, like if you just want to know my life, just follow them. But like really, I'm just another person probably. So yeah. Okay, so those are my contacts if anyone is interested, by the way.
All right. Okay. Thank you. Thanks again, Kachay. And hope you stay safe and keep healthy in German.
Thank you, Dani. Thank you, Kace. Thank you.
And thank you for the
Bye.
prisoner for joining our class. See you next week. Stay
Yeah,
safe.
thank you. It's very inspiring.
See you
Thank
next
you
week.
all.
You may
Yeah.
live
You
good.
all.
Thank you,
Stay safe all.
Kacay. Thank
Bye.
you, Britzone.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Please for Kachay and the committee stay
Okay, siap.
for a little bit for the evaluation.
Oke. Sorry ya. Pertanyaan seperti biasa, salah nih. Terlalu bersemangat.
And please turn off the streaming on YouTube.